The first photograph on our list was taken in 1870, 33 years prior to the invention of the airplane in 1903. Taken from the summit of Mount Washington, New Hampshire, the cigar-shaped object appears to be hovering in front of a large cloud and is widely considered to be the oldest known photograph of a UFO. Captured by a volunteer fireman in the small town of Cave Junction, Oregon in 1927, this classic silver disc remains one of the most impressive UFO photographs despite being nearly 90 years old. Our third photograph was taken by Edward Pine, who worked at a local sawmill in 1929 in the small town of Slide Ward, Colorado. Witnesses reported feeling the ground tremble just before seeing the metallic object flying overhead. Well before the installation of street lamps or power lines, George Sutton was photographed standing near his car in St. Paris, Ohio, underneath this bell-shaped UFO in May of 1932. On February 25, 1942, the city of Los Angeles, California was on high alert after the attacks on Pearl Harbor. Frightened citizens reported bright objects flying in from the coast, prompting the military to issue a citywide blackout. At the center of the spotlights, a disc-shaped object can be seen taking fire from anti-aircraft guns, which seemed to have little effect. Dubbed the Battle of Los Angeles, this photograph remained one of the most iconic pictures in the history of ufology. Captured in England in 1944, little is known about the circumstances behind this photograph or the mysterious object seen flying overhead. John Jansen, the editor of an American aviation journal, was flying his plane over Moorestown, New Jersey in 1947 when he spotted 6 lights in the sky above him and was able to capture 4 of them together in this photo. Jansen claims the objects returned several weeks later, but was unable to photograph them for a second time. On July 7, 1947, William Rhodes spotted this strange object circling the skies above Phoenix, Arizona, and was able to capture it in 2 different photographs. This silver UFO was photographed by Frank Timon in Seattle, Washington, while stationed as a member of the United States Coast Guard. He approximated the object to be moving at 300 miles per hour at an altitude of 10,000 feet. One of the earliest known color photographs of a UFO, the object seen hovering above these trees was captured in Scotland in 1947 and is clearly not a conventional aircraft. Our next photograph was taken in 1949 by Sergeant Leo Davidson while attending a local church carnival in Cincinnati, Ohio. A classic example of a bell-shaped UFO, this photograph was taken by Dean Morgan, who was visiting Red Bud, Illinois in 1950. Captured by Paul Trent in 1950, this photograph of a UFO flying over his farm in McMinnville, Oregon, was first published in a local newspaper and then later published in Time magazine. One of the most celebrated pictures of all time, McMinnville is now home to one of the largest UFO festivals, which is held around the time of the original photograph on May 11th. Our next photograph was taken by Guy Marquand Jr. over the Red Hills of Riverside, California on November 23, 1951. Witnessed by over 100 people in the skies above Lubbock, Texas in August of 1951, a local student named Carl Hart captured this unusual V-shaped formation from his dormitory window. The photographs were later published in Time magazine when it was found that 3 of the other witnesses were respected professors at Texas Tech University. Photographed by Ed Kessel on May 7, 1952, this image of a classically shaped UFO was investigated by the Brazilian Air Force and was concluded a genuine sighting after speaking to an additional 40 witnesses. On July 16, 1952, Shell Alpert snapped this photo while working as a member of the Coast Guard in Salem, Massachusetts. Our next photograph was taken by a French engineer, André Frignali, on July 18, 1952. Although the original photographer of this image remains unknown, witnesses claimed it was traveling at a high rate of speed and emitting long trails of white smoke similar to a jet aircraft. It was photographed on June 5, 1953, in the skies above Namur, Belgium. While flying at an altitude of 36,000 feet, a Royal Canadian Air Force pilot took this photograph near Fort Macleod, Alberta in 1956. Taken by Shinichi Takeda near Enoshima, Miami Beach in 1957, over 15 witnesses claimed this object made an impossible 90-degree turn before vanishing into the clouds. While piloting a B-57 jet fighter above Edwards Air Force Base in 1957, an anonymous pilot took this compelling photograph of a strange object that appears to be following behind the airplane, but was not seen by the pilot until after the film was developed. Witnessed by more than 50 people, this object was photographed by Almiro Barana, a native to the Trinidad Islands, on January 16, 1958, located approximately 600 miles from the coast of Brazil.